sports minister, the sports bishop, the sports traditionalist, the sports pilot, the sports CEO, the sports pastor, the sports cleric, and the list is actually endless.
Endless, indeed.
Honestly.
As long as there's sport in front of it, it's endless.
Absolutely. Good morning to you, Mr. Vic.
It's good to have you. So it's good to be with you on the show this morning.
It's good to have you on the show. All right, so this is the General Open Banter, dear listener, and would like to encourage fathers, mothers, and potential parents, honestly, to be part of the conversation this morning. It's really going to be an interesting and at the same time insightful conversation because this topic actually, or this conversation is centered around maybe the economic, reality on ground, and it trickles down to one's financial capacity in terms of making sure that things are actually on the table. You men would ask us, what are you bringing to the table?
I never asked that question
So
before,
the tables have actually turned. Women are also now asking men, what are you bringing to the table?
Is it that they don't bring anything before to the table?
Both parties should bring something to the table, no matter how small.
You're not far from the truth. Both parties should, because with the economy that we let me just allow you with your introductions.
All right, my name is Omoefe Peace Osemere, and he is
Vicky Vic, the sport minister on radio.
Double Vic.
Double V, exactly.
All right. Oh, did I say double Vic?
Double V.
Double V, please. All right. So the topic we're asking on the General Open Banter today is, should one's financial capacity be the sole determinant for having kids? Let me state again. Should one's financial capacity be the sole determinant for having kids? Now, I came across a story on Linda Ikeji blog. I mean, that blog has actually been saving lives. This is not some cheap promo now, but the craziest stories, you'll find them there. So a lady actually came out. She was just, as far as I'm concerned, it's her opinion, and people should learn to respect, people's opinions. You're subjected to yours, I am subjected to mine, but there is room for, learning and unlearning, and if possible, relearning. So she came out on social media to say that, as far as she's concerned, the number of kids she would be having is dependent on what her financial, strength can actually carry or take, not necessarily her husband or the father of the kids. She went further to say that most of the time, a man could tell you, oh, I want 5 children, I want 10 children. Who wants, 10 children now? I mean, this modern day and time. That's just by the way. You understand? And then at the end of the day, when you give birth to these kids or these children, taking care of them will become a problem. And according to her, maybe it's coming from a place of experience, not her personally, maybe a relative or even a friend, right? And according to her, most of the time, you are left with no option but to look after these children. That some of the men, they would actually shy away from their responsibility. You are the mother. After all, they say mothers are nurturers. We were created to nurture naturally. So they just shy away from their responsibility because no matter how bad it is, a father can actually abscond. But it will be very hard. Now, I'm not trying to bring in some gender coloration to this conversation now, but it will be very hard for a mother to abscond and say, no, please, I don't have, since your father cannot take care of you, let me also, balance. The chances are slim. Okay, there are, but the chances are very, very slim. Or the likes of such women are rare. So now, I went through the comments. I think people should give me the president of Comment, Readers Association of Nigeria.
If you don't go through the comments, you won't get the exact feel of people's reaction.
Exactly. So I went through the comments and people were like, another feminist here talking. But I really don't think there is any feminism attachment to this. This is just a woman who thinks that maybe she's married or maybe not married, but as a man, you're probably eyeing her, you are interested, but take note of these things. So that when you two eventually get married, it will not be your sole responsibility to decide. But let me ask you, Mr. Vic, as a married man, are you done giving birth?
I don't even hang boots.
Why now? So early.
I don't hang boots.
Why?
Well, not because of the economy,
right,
I would say, but it has to do with what I want, probably what we want,
right,
not me now.
Mm.
And you now see how the economy is. Now, many people don't plan this. That's why, with the experience I have now, I'll tell anyone who is going into it, is both of you. You sit down, you plan what you want, not what your parents want, not what your friends want, or not what your colleague want, what both of you want.
Not what the society
Not what
wants.
society wants. Now, in China, looking at how their economy is, there was a benchmark on the number of children you have. And for let's leave China aside now. Now, some will want to go in a religious way.
Right.
The Bible says, dominate, be fruitful, multiply.
Okay.
And that can come from, that can be
Different perspective.
Yeah. It can be multiply in terms of giving birth to children. It can multiply in terms of your finances. It can multiply in terms of your strength and wisdom.
Right.
So it can come in various forms. But looking at what this lady is, I always put it out there. Once an opinion comes out there, especially in the public domain, is the person's opinion.
Right.
Is the person's opinion. Now, I wouldn't want to use that undertone of say, okay, feminism, and so then it might have a slight, but when you go deep down into it, you will see where the angle that this person is coming from. Just like what you said, this person might be coming from an experience, or probably she must have seen somebody going through this. When I've seen somebody going through this, now I'll come back to myself. Now you asked me if I was done. Yes, I am done, because I have them for 2 boys, 2 girls. Now, not because I have them 2 boys, 2 girls, I am done, or because it actually came that way, and they'll tell you, the day where you go tell you, say you don't done. Don't be surprised, they're not one going to bagam. Now you now know if you are done or you are not done. So that's just it. But you have the medical where you say, okay, let's go for FP, and that's family planning and so that stuff like that. But in the economy that we are in now, in the economy that we are in now, our advice, couples or intending couples or couples who are yet to give birth, to sit down and plan. Is my income going to bring this? Or if you say, okay, we are going to only have 2, will my income be sufficient for it? I have a friend, a very close friend and a brother. He has given birth to 3.
Okay.
And all 3 are girls. I have 2 of them that way. One gave birth to twin girls, gave birth to another one girl. And you know how African culture is.
Right.
They'll tell you that if you don't have a boy, the lineage will not continue the lineage, blah, 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 blah. But the guy they talk about Oha say, I know they continue.
He's done.
He's done. But we know what will happen when one is aging, that's one. When the girl is not there, with the wife be bringing pressure, do they agree that both of them that it is done? So these are the things that we also look at. But in this present economic situation that we're telling that we are in now, I will tell different advice. You plan. I know there's some people that will be getting married in a couple of days now. The wedding bell is already ringing. I hope they are hearing me.
Mr. Zef, this triplet just I don't know.
It's coming out, not only Mr. Zef, also Uncle T is also getting married.
Okay.
And also the other ones that are already planning to see if they can increase population.
Right.
And they should also be looking at it. I think it's best that both parties plan. That's just the truth. Now, this lady is saying it because I think she has the money. Now, we have not come out, she didn't come out to tell us what's the state of the husband's
financial capacity.
So, this is her own opinion, but a man definitely will want to be in charge.
Okay.
There's also this analogy going out, say, a man's money is our money. And
as
a
the
woman,
head.
as a head.
Yes.
And a woman's money is her money.
Of course. For emergency situations.
Emergency
Yes.
Okay. You see that answer that you're looking at me, I'm going to.
No, because.
I will not delve into that.
No. All right. That should be. That is certainly going to be a conversation for another day.
But the truth of it is that a man is expected to take charge.
All right.
Of his home.
Okay, but let me also ask you, Mr. Vic, were you the one that actually decided that stop? Like, no, we're done with the babies.
It was both of us.
It was mutual, the both of you.
Yes.
Okay.
Because when they first came in, There was a little bit. The second one now came in. There was a little bit delay, and the third one came in immediately. I said, no. Something is wrong. Something is wrong.
As a sports minister on radio.
As a minister on radio. So the second and the third one came in almost back to back.
Oh.
After the first one gave like almost about 3-4 years. This one came in. I was like, So we're like, okay, let's see how we can pause. Then after 2 years, the other one came in, and this is almost 7 years. It has been a stop. So
all right.
I think that it has to do with both of them. That's why they are partners.
Okay, so the big question.
Sorry, I'm cutting you short.
Right.
You said we will agree to disagree. We will learn and unlearn.
Yeah.
But you must come to a bus stop where you say, okay, with this is what's going to be.
Okay, so you are now like agreeing completely with what this lady is saying, and somewhat to the question we're asking the listener out there, that the number of kids you should have as a person should be based on your financial capacity.
Based on the economy that we are in now.
Okay,
Because,
so,
because you know why I'm saying it? Because even some people's salary that they've been taking home since the increase in subsidy removal, since the increment in everything,
right.
the fuel, the electricity tariff, the communication company doing that, the take home pay is still the same. But you are spending more
right.
than what. So I don't think it has to do with what you are bringing in now, but with the state of the economy that we are in.
Okay, and regardless of concerns coming from different quarters, the economic hardship is biting harder than some people had actually anticipated. People are still getting married.
People are still getting married, yes.
And having elaborate weddings.
Sure,
all right?
of
so
course.
The economy has got nothing on them, really.
On them, that's what. The fingers are not
equal, right?
Now, also, I will. I was trying to say something now before you. Maybe when I remember it.
Okay.
The economy is totally dependent on how you are.
Let me congratulate you, by the way, Mr. Vic,
Concerning.
because you gave birth to all 4 of your kids way before this.
But way before it. But after like about 6 years to it, the reality is now in. Okay, I now remember what I was trying to talk about.
Right.
Now, in this same economy, some people are doing 001. In this same economy, some people are doing 101. In this same economy, some people are just even doing 1. They don't even know how the other 00 will be. So it is still in this same economy. There is no increment in people's salary, but everything is astronomically
The cost of
going
living.
up. Yes.
Right. Okay, so to the listener out there, to the men, to the women, to the youth, the boys and girls or men, intending husbands and wives, you understand? Please call in now and share your thoughts with us. What do you make of this, topic we are asking? I personally think that when you see a couple, maybe they got married a year or 2 ago and they don't have an issue yet, by a child or something, it's really not in your place to want to question them or pressure them.
No.
Because you don't know what their plan is.
It shouldn't even be in the place. Like there are some things that I know now, and if I had known then, I would like, okay, would have taken a break and stuff like that. It is them. And they can say, okay, I want a child after a year. No. We don't want children until after 2 years.
Right.
They want to enjoy themselves, especially if they are really, really young. They want to get married, as in start giving birth after 2 years, after 3 years. It is their agreement.
It's their choice.
But you now know in the stage that we are in, culture will now set in. Say now only you now be the pikin where we born you.
Parents, maybe they try to understand too.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That most of them, they want the cry of their children in their hand.
Would they be there to take care of these children?
That's the thing. But like I said, there are some parents who want to understand.
Right.
But there are some men who will stamp their feet and say, okay, after 2 years should be after 2 years. I also know some ladies who want to play hanky panky. We've seen it, we've read it, we even watched skits on it where they'll be taking this thing not to give birth. Not to conceive. You should agree with your partner, and if you feel that your partner doesn't want to agree, make him understand, and let her also understand that this can happen like this, and there are reasons towards it.
Okay, so there are a truckload of questions we're actually asking on the show beyond the big question whether or not financial or one's financial capacity should be the sole determinant for having kids. Another question would be, in your own capacity as an individual, as a citizen, as a listener, at this point in time, what would you suggest? Should we have a benchmark to the number of kids that people should have, just like we have in China? Is that even realistic, especially in this climate? Now, let's see if we can get answers to all of these questions. Don't forget, this is the General Open Banter, and the numbers to call are 09073530044 or 090876688888. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number, and that would be 090970544 and 50. You probably want to stay anonymous. It's fine, but please let us know your location. And please, when you share your thoughts, this is somewhat sensitive, right? Depending on the context you see it from. So be very mindful of, the words that you would be using just to express yourself. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Are you there? Okay, we just let you go. Please call back 09087668888. Hello and good morning to you. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Uche.
Good morning, DTV.
Good morning to you.
Okay, you see, I want to align myself with what DTV said.
Okay.
It should be an agreement because I came from a family. I can use myself for an example.
All right.
We are 9 in number, and if not for the sake of death, would have been 11.
Oh.
Most times when I meet my dad, I do ask him a lot of questions. I ask him, Dad, have
Are you there?
children with mom?
Mm.
Sometimes he shy away from those questions. I understand. I told him that there are some questions I asked him that I don't require an answer from him. I also found out that apart from the financial difficulty, because I came from a family where at least we are eating. Food wasn't actually the problem.
All right.
But then, at some point in time, I can tell you categorically clear that I never see that father and son's connection between I and my dad. I suffered that because there was no time for that. We were too many. And at some point in time, the man started seeing it that, we are blocking him. But we needed him. That is aspect of my dad. I'm saying it on air. I missed him in that aspect because he was too busy for us. He never had our time. Apart from the financial status as well, you can agree with me that back then, it is easy to bring up a child. The child upbringing then is a little bit easier than now. Then you can communicate with the child with just looking at him, he will code. You understand? But now, if you look at a child, like these Jersey children, they will ask you that why are you staring at me? They will look at you and ask you, why are you staring at me? So apart from the financial aspect of it too, child upbringing is more difficult now.
Okay.
So these are the things that one can also consider before determining how many children you want to have or not. So it's not only the financial aspect. Financial aspect of it is also involved, but then it's not only the financial aspect of it.
Okay. Okay, so Uche, let's quickly, before we let you go now, if you don't mind, would you want to recommend maybe number of kids that people should have? Can we set a standard like that in Nigeria?
There is no yardstick to that. I can't categorically tell you that this should be the yardstick. But then it is something that a husband and wife should actually, after scrutinizing their financial status, I don't want to put that apart.
Okay.
Scrutinizing their financial status and also face the reality of the unknown tomorrow.
Okay.
Then you can now base your decision on what if, and with the situation on ground.
All right.
What is the best decision you can take in this regard?
Okay. Thank you very much, Uche. Thank you. All right, 09073530044 or 09087668888. Send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number that is 09097054 and 50. Should one's capacity or financial capacity be the sole determinant for having kids? That's what we're asking this morning on the General Open Banter. Good morning to you. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Cornell. I'm calling from Sun City.
All right. Good to have you. Please go ahead.
So, it depends on your financial capacity. To
Okay.
you. When I got married, even when I was in secondary school, I used to tell myself that I will have only 3 kids. But then things were not like this. Pampers was how much? 25 naira. Then
25 naira?
25 naira, yes. Pampers, a pack of Pampers before it enter 50 naira to 70 to 100 to 250.
So how much is it now?
Then, well, I can't say because my children are grown.
All right.
My first son is 26 years. My second one is 22 years.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I can't tell.
Okay.
So it depends on your financial capacity. Like to me, I don't want to give birth to a child. Then later I will be looking for taking people. My children have not eaten since yesterday. It is not right. I'm not saying you should not. It depends on it. To me, I don't think it's okay.
Okay.
I was born in a family that they struggle with. My mom struggled before we eat because I lost my father at a teenage.
All right.
So you understand?
Yes.
So I did not want to straight on that path again. So you understand?
Yes,
So I was so mindful. Even my husband, we were saying that we will have 3. Although we have that 3, but unfortunately I lost one.
So
My
sorry
first
about
one is
that.
26. The second one is 20 years. He's
Sorry for
serving
your
here
loss.
in Port Harcourt. So
Right.
I don't think it depends. Some people like I have only you. You must born 15. Why? When you have only him, then it was Gary was like 200 naira a movie. Now it's 1,000.
Wow.
Sonny, you I born only you. I want you to give me 13 children. It doesn't sound well now.
Yeah.
I raise my case. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so this is coming from a place of experience,
Experience.
right? And I like the fact that she's been able to compare the prices of things
Back then
and what is obtainable
obtainable
now.
now.
Hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Fine, thank you. My name is Anthony. I'm calling from Asokoro, Abuja.
All right, please go ahead.
Yeah, for 7 days, the number of kids that one should have, I think, like the primary health care, government have indirectly telling us that you see number of kids they can help get them for the health status is 4 kids. Aside from that, or above from that, you take care of the rest yourself with your money. And let me tell a short story pertaining a family I know very well. A colleague.
Anthony, is it possible for you to call us back? We really can't get sense of the point you're
change your
making.
location and please call us back, Anthony.
Anthony, please. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, I actually want to say something concerning maybe passing it into law, what's happening in China. It will be very difficult for us to do us in this part of the world, and knowing fully well that people will bring culture, people will bring religion into it. They're always, anytime you raise up something, culture,
Religion.
religion,
It's always an
is
impediment.
always exactly. There's a part in the north, like those, before I go to that part of the north, in those days, they bring up children to go to farm. And you must go to farm.
Right.
That's why you have them with that number of children in the house. Now, there's food because you must go to farm, and there's always availability of food those days. Now, with what's happening, clash between herders and farmers, many people can't go to farm anymore.
Right.
Now, there's migration from the rural to the urban cities. So if you try to weigh all these things, now I remember during the election, a certain part of the country has underage voters going to vote. So many people will attribute all this that no, this can't work when they bring up all this, But in the present stage that we are in, if truly we want this country to grow, there are certain things we need to do.
Right.
And this is just where it begins, the family.
Okay. Well, for people who actually think whatever it is that is obtainable in China cannot be replicated here for obvious reasons, because we need a workforce.
Yes, of course.
We need a population. But we are densely populated already.
We are populated. We are populated. There is no way you go to, you don't find. In short, the greatest thing you'll find in Nigeria is the human resources. In Nigeria, we have the human resources. And we are not utilizing it.
All right.
We have the human resources and we are not utilizing it.
Okay. We just have to digress, all right? 09073530044 or 09087668888. Send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 09097054450. Should one's financial capacity be the sole determinant for having kids? That's the question we're asking. We have a voice note right here on the WhatsApp portal, so let's quickly take a listen to it. And okay.
Yeah, good morning to you all. My name is Amal here from Wax. I want to talk about this issue where you guys discuss about women, about women and family, generally. I want to say something. How can you say that man's money is for the family and woman's own is for her own? It's her personal money. Only when there's emergency. This is just funny. If I must say, it's really funny. The same women that are dragging who will be the head of the family are the one who are also saying that what the man can do, they can do better. And when it comes to money aspect, they now start saying different things altogether. So I'm concerned. Women are just being funny. They're just being funny and just deceiving themselves. Thank you.
Agbalusia Ngene, aka Uchenna from Lugbe. Thank you so much for that voice note. But please, no woman is actually competing with a man, talking about who should be the head and who should be the tail or the neck. Please, you all are the head of the home. So what we're saying now is your money is our money as the head of the home. It's really simple.
I'll bring up a family friend. They're not in the country now. This man does his business, but his business is not top notch. But if you talk about the person taking care of the home,
right,
in terms of the house rent, in terms of paying the school fees, once in a while there's support, it is the woman. And the guy is so down to earth. You'll see him, his business is not really thriving, but at least in his own ability he's doing. When she goes out to go to work, you see him make sure the children are prepared to go to school. Even when she travels out for an assignment, you see him at home. I tend to look at what he's doing, trying to strive, pending when his business will pick up. But he's doing the needful. Now, that's not even the issue that we're even looking at. Let's not digress.
Absolutely.
Let's not digress. The thing is that we have a situation on ground. And that situation is the state of the economy of the country. Now, on social media, there are a lot of things going on social media. Right. I always tend to take the positives. He said, in this present day Nigeria, look for a way to make money and not make money in naira because of the value
of the
naira.
Right.
So what is he doing? He's encouraging everyone to make money and make money in dollars. And these are the things that you do online. So this is just an encouragement coming from this man himself. But like I said, let's not digress. The situation on ground, especially for intending couples, for those that are married already without kids, and those that will be going into marriage, you have to start planning your family beginning from when you put signature to or before you say I do. That's exactly what we're looking at.
The moment you even propose to a woman that will you marry me, and she tells you yes, I'll marry you excitedly, if only you know what you want and you're very intentional about it, except you're just there to play games.
No, at that instance, you'll be carried away with euphoria.
No,
that she has said
you
yes.
have to grow up and be realistic.
No, that's what I'm saying. At that
Right.
instance, there will be this euphoria, that happiness, that I do, I want
you know.
Then before you know anything, they start planning for the wedding.
The wedding.
Yes, and most people plan for the wedding and not plan for the marriage.
Right. Okay, let's see if we can take more calls. 09073530044 or 09087668888. Send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 09097054450. This is the General Open Banter live on Eagles FM Abuja. You can join the conversation live on YouTube and Facebook at Eagles FM Abuja. Might I also add that we now have an online radio platform where you can listen to Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja 24 hours every day, and the reception is top notch. All right, so there are different options for you to tune in, to call in. Whatever it is, just join the conversation. You really do not have any excuse for missing topical issues being discussed on here. Good morning. Okay, that's a miss. You might want to call back. All right. So, should one's financial capacity be the sole determinant for having kids? That's a question we're asking. And at this point in time, for people who actually believe or they think, or they have the school of thought that, it's God that gives children. You understand? So what should I do? It's God that gives. Children are a gift from God. We know. But why bring the children to this world when you cannot cater, or tend to their needs?
And
why?
The Bible also said that if you're actually making use of saying God gave you the Bible says also wisdom is profitable to
So direct. Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Are you there? Hello, good morning. Okay. Yeah, should be the network. We see some of you recording and typing on the WhatsApp portal. All right, please just send already.
The Bible said that we should multiply. We should replenish the earth. God gives children. There's no two ways about it.
Right.
This is where wisdom is now. You have to apply wisdom. And the Bible says, if you don't have wisdom, ask for it, and He will give to you.
Abundantly.
So you don't expect that you have a salary for like 50,000, and in it you pay school fees, in it you will pay house rent, in it you do so many things,
Electricity bills.
and now you want to start saying you want to increase or probably get number of children. Come on. That will not work, except you just want the children to be loitering around.
Don't you believe in miracles?
In as much as we should believe in miracle, He still talked about wisdom.
God will take care of them.
God will take care of them.
Yes.
The same God will not come down from heaven. They say blessings come from God to man through man. He will not come.
Absolutely.
Everything we need is here.
You just have to put in the work and
You have to
allow
put
God
in the
to
work
multiply.
to multiply. That's just it.
Exactly.
Everything is here.
Exactly. So for men or for women who actually would say that, oh, God will take care of the children, please, you're not being realistic. You're just, let me not use the word now, but please wake up to reality and do the right thing going forward. For those of you who have 10 children, there are people who even have 15, more than even 15 kids, and they are well to do. They can actually,
the money is available.
The money is available. So we don't have a problem with that.
Exactly. They've established, like if you see the woman who called in saying that she actually wanted 3,
right?
But eventually something happened, and do you know she still kept to what she wanted and the agreement with her husband. That's just it. It's you standing by what you want. Now your next kid might come. Your next generation will come and say, okay, my mom had 3, my mom had 4. We're 5. We're 5, 4 boys and a girl. But unfortunately, okay, I had 4. That's been, and it's a bust up for me. My other siblings, they had one had 3 and all girls, and I know definitely I know that he will still want to go for it to get a boy.
What do you mean by you?
No,
What do you mean by definitely?
I know definitely,
Mr. Vic.
because I know he has the resources to do that.
Okay.
So definitely he wants to go. So these are things you plan. I'm not planning for him
But
now.
is it true that the wealthy people that we have in our society today, they are more likely, they're most likely going to have like fewer number of kids as opposed to the average, or if there's any category
There are some,
below the average category?
I know it depends on what the family wants. Now there are some wealthy, individuals
Right.
that will still stand and say they want this number of children. Why? Because probably they want to give the family the best. The man wants to also give the family the best. I don't want to give the children the best. But there are still some, in short, there are some decisions that we take. You will know that it is those that are below average or probably less, that even want to go more for the children. Like,
I mean, but come to think of it, if the money is not there, let the children be there.
let the children be, yes.
Do you know the meaning of my tribal name?
No, please tell me.
Omo, if it means child is wealth.
Child is
maybe,
wealth.
Yes, maybe that's the
See,
mindset
Omo, if I-
or the notion they have.
Some will say reality speaks. Let reality
No pun
speak.
intended, by the
No,
way.
no, let reality speak. In the area that we're in, you will see that it is those that don't have more of that money that want to even give birth to the number of
The
children.
own nation.
The whole nation, even football team with reserve, they are the ones that want to give birth to them.
Okay, let's listen to this voice note. Hello.
Hello, House. This is Anthony Witness, speaking from Suleja.
Okay.
I just came across your discussion on the bonus, whether money should be a sole determinant to the number of children somebody should have. I don't think it should be sole. It should be a sole determinant, but it is part of the reason why one should decide the number of children he should have. It's not the sole, because there are a number of other reasons why one should determine on the number of children he should have. So money is important to be considered seriously, because the cost of training a child now is very, very, very expensive. So one don't need to stress himself so much. After all, these children, you are not going to sell them to make money. Rather, everything that has to do with them is expensive. Just like people today who build mansions, expecting that their children will have more accommodation. They don't need to stress themselves when they grow up. But at the end of the day, it ends up being zero, because before they grow up to that level, your house must have been outdated, that they would want to build their own house. That is one. Number two, that a woman who don't want to start giving birth immediately after marriage, maybe want to give herself 1 year or 2 before giving birth, should discuss it with the husband. Why would she discuss it with the husband? Where this is supposed to be settled before the marriage, during the court time. She should be able to say, these are my expectations, this is my desire. And if it's okay with the man, then they go ahead. If not, why will you go? Maybe the man's desire is that after marriage, in fact, what is motivating him is to have children. And then after marriage, you come and tell him that you want to stay a year or 2 before you take it. That is not right at all. It brings problem. It's not right. They should be able to discuss it and agree before they enter the marriage. That is what I think. And then talking about the number of people or children a family should have, probably monitored by the government. It can never work here now. What do we have here to monitor such a thing? Are you talking about technologically advanced nations that has the data of every citizen in the country? What do we have here? You know the percentage of women that give birth without going to hospital in the rural areas. So how do you monitor who has gotten 1 or 2 or more than the stipulated number? So it doesn't work here. And again, our number is a workforce. That is the reason why some people would want to have them many. Just like one of the anchor people here is saying that it's for the purpose of farming, and now insecurity is not allowing farming. Fine. So the number here we cannot encourage population based on the fact that there will be a workforce. Which work? Where do we have work in this country? Do we know how many people are graduating from the university every day, every time, every year, and they no work for them? How many of them are lying there everywhere? The government doesn't have plan for them. So all these things should be taken into consideration when you are giving birth to children. That is what I think. I myself, by God's grace, I just planned the 3 with my wife, but plus minus 1 came in again. So I have 1 girl and 3 boys, and it is okay. God is going to help any other person that needs children to have self-control and get exactly what they can handle. Thank you and have a good day.
Mr. Anthony, thank you so much.
See, you see this topic. This topic is not a day's topic.
Right.
It's not a day's topic. Now, I want to. Anthony said something in his voice. He said a lot in his voice.
A lot, honestly.
But I want to bring out that point of that human resources. If we have a good system,
Right. Or a
good
system that works.
A system that works. Our human resources will play a very big role. Like some manufacturing companies, assembling plants, and a lot. Our human resources will play a role because our system for now is not working. this is where we find ourselves. But still, today we still see, if the this present administration can make our system work, even those that will graduate from school, the NYSC that comes out every day, batch A, batch B, batch C, batch Z, batch other, will make use of them very, very well. Now let's come to the issue of school. Look at the present school. Now, even the private schools are taking over the public schools.
Public schools, you're right.
What is this? What is the government doing? That now most of these so-called wealthy men, or probably so-called politicians, are building schools. The prices, the school fees is so exorbitant.
And sometimes in dollars, not even naira.
That in your own country,
Right.
you are spending dollar in your own country. So, like I said, this topic is way
It's so
is so
elaborate.
elaborate, so big. Now, if our public schools they're working, you can be able to say my child should go to a public school.
Even if there are 10 of
Even,
them.
exactly, even if there are 10 of them, you can train them through the primary school and through the secondary school.
While they also acquire a skill.
A skill. Now, I thank God that they even try to even bring vocational skills
Vocational,
back into even primary school, which is good. We
Catch
used,
them
we,
young.
we used to have these things those days. You see, this topic that we're looking at is so elaborate that we can't even finish today.
I agree, Mr. Vic. Truly, I agree. But time is not our friend, and I've just been notified that my guest for the next hour is already in the building. So we just have to leave the conversation here. Have a playback on Facebook and YouTube at your leisure. And please do well to leave a comment. So Uche just sent in a message. I don't know. We just have to squeeze in this message. All right. He says, good morning, Ife and Double V. Gone are the days where couples don't discuss sensitive issues regarding their marital life. Because once you fail to have those plans, just know you are planning to fail. Today, it is essential to check your financial status and put into consideration. It will help you make informed decisions on how many children you're going to be having. And it's because of this lack of proper planning you see in some part of the country, a man whose income in a month is less than 100,000 naira is having 4 wives. Why are you particular about the number of wives? Right? 4 wives and 22 children. And due to their inability to care for these children today, that's why we have a lot of insecurity and insurgency today, because these children, they go to their own, they go out on their own looking for survival, and they do anything to survive. And in this part of the country, birth control cannot work there because we don't have data, and our politicians are not helping the matter in this regard. But this topic is bigger than we are hearing, and we need human resources to grow the country. If it is channeled appropriately, it can be an advantage to us. But unfortunately today, we are getting the opposite. Uche from Akamata. Let me quickly, look at a drawback from that message that he sent. You somewhat focused on a particular region, even though you did not mention, but even a layman on the street would get sense of the region you're referring to. But we must understand that this trend is also obtainable, across other regions of the country. So at the end of the day, our religious leaders, they have a role to play.
That's as if they are given a role because then they want to make reference to the Constitution. That's if they are given a role. They can only just speak what they need to speak and encourage them and do the needful. Like I said again, I'll still reiterate when I said that this topic is big enough. Now look at what Uche said. Even Anthony said it in his voice note, talking about data, or probably the data. We cannot do that in this part of the world. Now you should be able to know that once a child is clocking 18, with the database you have with the Population Commission, once a child is clocking 18, it is now saddled with the responsibility of INEC to say, okay, this child, you don't get 18, or you come to our office and come and collect your voter's card. This, you're prompt in what you're doing. Just wait and see. Say the next election is coming up, then quickly fire brigade approach. Come and do your registration for INEC. It is time to go and collect because you have clocked 18 years. Do you know how many people have clocked 18 years from 2003? The last
I think
election
that
to this moment?
newborns can actually get registered on the NRN portal.
Yeah, sure,
Yes.
they can.
So
they can.
why can't we? All right,
Do you-
it has to be 18.
Do you
anyways,
know how?
so-
Do you know how many platforms that we have? to get the database of Nigerians.
Maybe all of the platforms should be harmonized.
That's they've talked about this before.
Yes, of
There
course,
is
I recall.
there is NIN, there is BVN,
There is voter
there is
card.
voters card. Road safety will do its own. Bank will do their own, and but everybody wants to do. Meanwhile, there should be. They've talked about this on several
Right,
occasions,
right.
where you have a central
central
database where you
right.
can get information, including if you are in the hospital, including those that are going to prisons. You'll be able to draw out information from the database.
Okay. Please play music. What's this? Oh, I thought I played your voice note earlier.
Let's see if we can squeeze it in.
I thought I did.
Good morning to you all. Yeah, the thing is this. I disagree on some points when I talk. Sorry. The thing is this, man, sir. Are you people now indirectly telling us that a poor man can never get married or a poor man can never have children? This is wrong. I have seen a situation whereby a poor man gets married and before you know, boom, everything open up. So people are saying as if as if God doesn't exist. God actually exists. But as long as you're doing something, you're not putting your hand, you're doing something. God can bless you through that small thing you're doing and lift you up. But you can't tell me that there's someone that is poor, a man, so to say, cannot get married after that. For me, it's wrong. Thank you.
Thank you, Agbalusia Ngene from Guas.
Was that what we said?
No one is trying to say that a poor man shouldn't get married or even have children, but we're just saying that get something doing, so you don't bring these children to this world and have them, to fend for themselves at such an early age. You see the Almajiri syndrome that we are faced with at the moment. I think the aim of that Almajiri system has already been defeated. It's been defeated, but this is certainly going to be a conversation for another day.
Exactly.
Thank you all so much for keeping us company. Like I'd always say, have a playback on these, conversations that we have on a daily basis at your leisure, and leave a comment. We'll be more than glad to acknowledge your thoughts. My name is Omoife Piso Semere.
And I still remain Double V.
Vicky V. Thank you so much for being part of the show.
You're welcome.
Coming up next is Mind and Body. You best don't want to miss the conversation on that show, because we're going to be talking about your oral health. What was the last time you changed your toothbrush? But don't worry, an expert will be joining me in the studios to talk about that. Do stay with us.